So after I had finished off the exterior, I let that cure for a couple of days and in the meantime moved on to the interior itself. All of the parts were cut out of the sprues and then cleaned up a little bit with the flush cut pliers and also some sanding sticks and sandpaper to remove all of those parts where they connected to the sprues. Once that was done to pretty much all of the interior parts, I could move on to priming them, sticking them to some crocodile clips. I have links in the description down below, and also on some various other toothpicks with some glue here and there, just to keep them in place and make it a lot easier to paint them all round. I actually wanted to paint this interior in a saddle tan brown, but it turns out I didn't have any, so I decided just to use some red, which was my second option, and which will also look really good with a gray exterior. Not all of the interior will be painted red, of course, as just a couple of the inlays for on the door cards, the seats, and on the center console are red on the actual cars. I decided just to stick with that theme and paint all the other parts in a black. The main interior tub also needs some carpeting, so I sprayed down a couple of thick coats of flat clear from Tamiya with a spray can, and while it was still super wet, I just sprinkled the flocking on top of it just to make it stick and then let it cure for a bit. On the center console, I also made a quick template with some masking tape and a marker, then moved that onto a sheet of carbon fiber decals, cut it out, and started forming and shaping it. Some other details on the interior, like a couple of the displays, were painted with a gloss black. Some of the buttons got some silver highlighting around the edges, and other parts were also painted gloss black. And in addition to that, I also used some flat black just to give it a bit of a feeling from different textures and different materials and not all blend into one and the same color. Once most of the detail painting was done, I could apply some of the metal emblems like you just saw me do on the steering wheel, and also glue in the pedals so I could start placing all of the decals. The decals are now all in place, so I could move on to the final assembly and just gluing all the parts together with some super glue.